A very good reason not to drink at Celebration 5. Stars of both the original and prequel trilogy are busy in the world of superheroes. And, oh, did you hear? Lucas is coming to Celebration. It's Thursday, May 27th, and you'll hear about those stories and more on an abbreviated episode of This Week in Star Wars. Sponsored this week by Bronchitis, available at a daycare center near you. This Week in Star Wars is your source for new and noteworthy developments from the galaxy far, far away. I am your host, Matt Fox. And now, this week's lead stories. As we approach the 75-day mark on the Celebration 5 countdown calendar, news has begun to flow more freely from the powers that be regarding the upcoming convention. Most notably was last week's announcement that Star Wars creator George Lucas will be making his second Celebration appearance. No word yet on what capacity or forum Lucas's appearance would be, or on what day it will occur, but no doubt more information will be made available. Lucas appeared in Indianapolis at Star Wars Celebration 3 in 2005, where he gave 3 question and answer sessions, each running about half an hour. Lines varied for those sessions from interminably long overnight lines to, "Come on in, we have seats, it's about to start, come on." The ever-popular collectors panels will be returning to Celebration 5, and the first 4 of those panels were announced this week. They will consist of animation collecting, food collectibles, The Empire Strikes Back and trading cards, and a seminar on the end of Star Wars collecting ? These panels were very popular at both C3 and C4, and are always highly anticipated within the collecting community. This Week in Star Wars would like to note with pride that a number of members of the DC Star Wars Collectors Club have already been named to these panels as hosts. Congrats to them, and stay tuned for more information on future panel announcements. And from the sublime to the ridiculous, Celebration 5 will be featuring a commitment chapel. The announcement, available on StarWarsCelebration.com, makes no reference as to whether the Elvis Trooper will be involved, and, unlike Vegas, the unions are not legally binding, but they are available in both light side and dark side flavors. Insert your same-sex marriage joke here, and can be officiated by your favorite Star Wars character. I'd opt for Wicket. More information about all of these Celebration stories is available on the StarWarsCelebration.com website, and the convention itself will take place August 12th through 15th at the Orange County Convention Center in Orlando, Florida. In publishing news this week, the 5th installment of the Star Wars Fate of the Jedi series of novels, Allies, by Christie Golden, was published on May 25th. It is available for purchase at most brick-and-mortar retailers as well as online booksellers. But you can win a copy here at This Week in Star Wars. Details will be available at the end of the program today. Dark Horse released 2 new titles this week. Legacy, issue number 48, Extremes, Part 1, hit shelves alongside of Invasion number 6, the first story in the Rescue story arc. And if you like comic books, there's a couple other stories this week involving the stars of the Star Wars series in other franchises. Tamura Morrison, Jango Fett, and fully aged clones in episodes 2 and 3, is playing Abin Sur in the Green Lantern movie. Speaking at Star Wars Weekends at Disney, Morrison said that he's also been approached about appearing in a possible sequel to the as-yet unreleased film. Mark Hamill is calling it quits on his second most famous role, that as the voice talent behind the Joker in the animated television series which ran from 1992 to 2004 and has encompassed untold numbers of toys and other voice acting work. However, the son of Skywalker will be appearing as the Clown Prince of Crime only on one more project, the upcoming video game Arkham Asylum 2. While not mentioned explicitly, perhaps the decision to leave the Joker character behind is because he is going to be directing a film adaptation of The Black Pearl, a comic book that he authored. One last bit of comic news. The official webcomics for Season 1 of The Clone Wars, which appeared on StarWars.com in advance of each episode, are being collected in a printed volume which will be available at Celebration 5 and will be entitled Tales from the Clone Wars. Perhaps that volume can hold those Clone Wars fans over until October 26th. It was announced today on StarWars.com that on that date, the DVD and Blu-ray box sets of Clone Wars Season 2 will be made available. Special features abound, and complete details are available on StarWars.com. I want to apologize again for missing last week's episode, but really, if you think I sound bad today, you should have heard me last week. Well, frankly, you wouldn't have been able to hear me because I couldn't really talk until a couple days ago. Regardless, I am sorry, and I am going to try to maintain that every Thursday night schedule from here on out. You may remember earlier in the podcast I made reference to getting a free copy of Star Wars Allies, the fifth of the Fate of the Jedi novels. That is indeed the case, and here's what you have to do to enter the contest. Almost nothing. Rather, post something on the This Week in Star Wars Facebook page, or send an email to host@thisweekinstarwars. While I'd appreciate something constructive, it doesn't have to be constructive. If it's on the Facebook page, I ask that it's not obscene, so if you need to work blue, send it in an email. Maybe you can post which Star Wars character you'd like to have perform your fake sci-fi wedding at Celebration 5. I don't care. One message or post will be randomly selected next Thursday, and the author will win the book. Good luck. And that was This Week in Star Wars. Join us again next week for more news, notes, and developments from the galaxy far, far away. Visit www.thisweekinstarwars.com or www.twisw.com, where you can find links to past episodes, a subscription button to iTunes, as well as the methods to contact us through email or on Facebook. This Week in Star Wars. We troll the web so you don't have to.
This Week in Star Wars is not affiliated with Lucasfilm, its subsidiaries, or any other entity mentioned in this podcast. Star Wars, its characters, and creations are the property of Lucasfilm. All other trademarks are property of their respective trademark owners. This Week in Star Wars is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. This podcast is copyright 2010 This Week in Star Wars. Invaluable technical assistance provided by WebStorm Interactive. News, comments, and questions can be directed to host@thisweekinstarwars.com. More information, links to stories presented, past episodes, and additional contact information are available at www.thisweekinstarwars.com.
This show is terrible, and I'm really happy.